The following is the continuation of the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita as it is, by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on February 19th, 1966, in New York.
This material world, it is called shadow. Shadow. As in the shadow, there cannot be any reality. But at the same time, from the shadow, we can understand that there is reality. The example of shadow in the shadow of water in the desert suggests that in the desert there is no water, but there is water. Similarly, in the reflection of the spiritual world or in this material world, there is undoubtedly, there is no happiness, there is no water. But the real water or the actual happiness is in the spiritual world. The Lord suggests that that one has to reach that spiritual world in the following manner. Nirmana moha jita sangadosha adhyatma nitya vinivista kamaha dandai vimuktya sukha sangai gacchantya mudha padamabhyam tat. That padamabhyam, that eternal kingdom, can be reached by one who is nirmana moha. Nirmana moha. Nirmana means we are after designations. Artificially we want some designation. Somebody wants to become Sir, somebody wants to become Lord, somebody wants to become the President, or somebody wants to become a rich man, somebody wants to become something else, king. All these designations, so long we'll have attachment for all these designations, because after all, these designations belong to the body, and we are not this body. This is the first conception of spiritual realization. So, one has no attraction for designation and jita sanga dosha. Sanga dosha. Now we are associated with the three modes of material qualities, and if we become detached by devotional service of the Lord, so long we are not attracted by devotional service of the Lord, we cannot be detached from the three modes of material nature. Therefore, the Lord says, Vinivittu kama. These designations and these attachments are due to our lust, desire. We want to lord it over the material nature. So long we do not give up this propensity of lording it over the material nature. Up to that time, there is no possibility of going back to the kingdom of the Supreme, the Sanatana Dhamma. Dandai vimukta sukha sangai gachanti amudha padamabhyanta. That eternal kingdom which is never distractible, like this material world, can be approached by amura. Amura means non-bewildered, one who is not bewildered by the attraction of this false enjoyment. And one is situated in the supreme service of the Lord. He is the right person to approach that eternal kingdom. And that eternal kingdom does not require any sun, any moon, or any electricity. That is a glimpse idea of approaching of the eternal kingdom. In another place of the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that abbakta akkhara ittukta samahu paramam gati jantapana nivartanti tadhama paramam. So abbakta means non-manifested. Even the part of material world is not manifested before us. Our senses are so imperfect that we cannot see how many stars, how many planets there are in this material universe. Of course, through the Vedic literature we get information of all the planets. We may believe or not believe, but all the important planets in which we have connection, they are described in Vedic literature, especially in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But the spiritual world, which is beyond this material sky, parastasmatu bhava anya, but that abbakta, that not manifested spiritual God, is the paramangati. That is, one should desire, one should hanker after reaching that supreme kingdom, and once approaching that supreme kingdom, jang prapta, one approaching or one achieving that supreme kingdom, non-nivartanti, one hasn't got to return back to this material world. And that place, which is the eternal abode of Lord, that from where we haven't got to return, that should be our. Now, a question may be raised. What is the way, how to approach the supreme abode of the Lord? That is also described in the Bhagavad Gita. It is said on the 8th chapter, verses 5, 6, 7, 8, the process of approaching the Supreme Lord or Supreme Lord's abode is also given there. It is said like this: Antakale cha mameva smaran muktya kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastatra sangsaya. Antakale, at the end of life, at the time of death, Antakale cha mameva, one who thinks of Krishna, smaran, if he can remember, a dying person at the time of death, if he remembers the form of Krishna, and while remembering In that way, if he quits the present body, then surely he approaches the spiritual kingdom. Madbhavam. Bhavam means the spiritual, the nature. Jab prayati sa madbhavam yati. Madbhavam means just like the nature of the transcendental nature of the Supreme Being. As we have described above, that the Supreme Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. He has his form, but his form is eternal, Sat, and full of knowledge, Chit, and full of bliss, Ananda. Now just we can compare our present body, whether this body is Satchidananda. No. This body is Asat. Instead of being Sat, it is Asat. Antavatu imideha, Bhagavad Gita says that this body is Antavat, perishable. And Sat Chit Ananda. Then instead of becoming Sat, it is Asat, just the opposite. And instead of becoming Chit, full of knowledge, it is full of ignorance. We have no knowledge of the spiritual kingdom. Neither we have got any perfect knowledge of this material world. So many things unknown to us. Therefore, this body is ignorant. Instead of becoming full of knowledge, it is ignorant. The body is perishable, full of ignorance, and nirananda. Instead of becoming full of bliss, it is full of miseries. All the miseries that we experience in this material world, it is all due to this body. The Lord says that antakale samameva smaran mukta kalevaram. One who quits this material body simply by remembering Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he at once gets the spiritual body of Satchidananda Vigraha. The process of quitting this body and getting another body in the material world is also organized. A man dies after it has been decided what form of body he will have in the next life. But that is decided by higher authorities. Just like according to our service, we are promoted or degraded. Similarly, according to our acts, we are acts of this life. The activities of this life are preparation ground for the next life. We are preparing for the next life by our activities of this life. So, if we can prepare our this life for getting promotion to the kingdom of God, then surely after leaving, after quitting this material body, the Lord says, Japrayati, one who goes, so Madhubhava Jati. Madhubhava, he gets the same spiritual body as the Lord has, or the same spiritual nature. Now, there are different kinds of transcendentals, as we have already explained above. The Brahmavadi, the Paramatmavadi, and the devotees. In spiritual sky, or in the Brahma Jyoti, there are spiritual planets, innumerable spiritual planets. We have already discussed. And the number of those planets are far, far greater than all the universes of this material world. This material world is ekangsena situ jagat. This is 1/4 part manifestation of the whole creation. 3/4 part of the creation is the spiritual world. And in the 1/4 part of this creation, there are millions of universes like this, which we are experiencing at the present moment. And in one universe, there are millions and billions of planets. So, there are millions and billions of suns and stars and moons in all this material world. But all these material worlds constitute only 1/4 manifestation of the whole creation. The 3/4 manifestation is in the spiritual sky. Now this Madhubhava, one who desires to merge into the existence of the Supreme Brahman, they merge in the Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord. Madhubhava means that Brahma Jyoti as well as the spiritual planets in the Brahma Jyoti. And the devotees who want to enjoy the association of the Lord, they enter into the planets, Vaikuntha planets. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets. And the Lord, Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, by his plenary expansion as Narayan with 4 hands, with different names, Padmana, Anuruddha, and Madhav, Govinda. There are many innumerable names of these 4-handed Narayan. So, one of the planets, that is also Madhubhava. That is also within the spiritual nature. So, any transcendentalist who at the end of life, either he thinks of the Brahma Jyoti or meditates upon the Paramatma or thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In either case, they enter into the spiritual sky, but only the devotees, those who have practiced personal touch with the Supreme Lord, they enter into the Vaikuntha planets or the Golok Vrindavan planet. The Lord says, Japyati sa madhubhavam yati na asti atra sangsaya. There is no doubt. One should not disbelieve That is the question. So you are reading Bhagavad Gita throughout the whole life, but when the Lord speaks something which does not tally with our imagination, we reject it. That is not the process of Bhagavad Gita reading. Just like Arjuna said, the Sarvavetam Nitam Manne, I believe in everything, whatever you have said. Similarly here, hearing, the Lord says that at the time of death, whoever thinks of Him, either as Brahma or Paramatma or the personality of God, certainly he enters into the spiritual sky, and there is no doubt about it. One should not disbelieve it. And the process is, general rule is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita, how it is possible to get into the spiritual kingdom simply by thinking of the Supreme at the time of death. Because the general process is also mentioned. Yang yang vapi smarana bhavam tajatanti kalevaram tam eva aiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. There are different bhavas. Now, this material nature is also one of the bhavas, as we have already explained, that this material nature is also the display of one of the energies of the Supreme Lord. And in the Vishnu Purana, the total energies of the Supreme Lord has been summarized. Vishnu Shakti Parapokta Kshetrogyakhya Tatha Para Avidya Karmasanga Anya Sthitiya Sakrishyati. So all the energies, potencies of the Parasa Shakti Vividha Yushyate, the Supreme Lord has diverse energies, innumerable energies, which he cannot conceive. But great learned sages, liberated souls, they have studied and they have summarized the whole energies into three parts, into three headings. The first is all the energies are Vishnu Shakti. All the energies, the different potencies of the Lord Vishnu. Now, that energy is para, transcendental, and Kshetrajñākya tatha para. And the living entities, Kshetrajña, they are also belonging to the group of that superior energy, as it is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita also. We have already explained. And the other energies, the material energy, is Titiya Karmasanga Anya. The other energy is in the mode of ignorance. So that is material energy. So material energy is also Bhagavad Bhav. So at the time of death, either we can remain in the material energy or this material world, or we can transfer into the spiritual world. That is the criteria. So the Bhagavad Gita says jang jang vapi smarana bhavam tajattanti kalevaram tang tameva aiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhav. Now, as you are accustomed to think either of this material energy or of the spiritual energy. Now, how to transfer the thinking of the material energy, how it can be transferred into thinking of the spiritual energy. So, for thinking in the spiritual energy, the Vedic literatures are there. Just like thinking in the material energy, there are so many literatures, newspapers, magazines, novels, fictions, and so many things, full of literature. So our thinkings are absorbed in these literatures. Similarly, if we want to transfer our thinking in the spiritual atmosphere, then we have to transfer our reading capacity to the Vedic literature. The learned sages, therefore, made so many Vedic literatures, the Puranas. The Puranas are not stories, they are historical records. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse which reads as follows: Anadi Bohinmukh Jeev Krishna Bhuli Gela Ataev Krishna Ved Purana Korila. That is, forgetful living entities, conditioned souls, they have forgotten the relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they are engrossed in thinking of the material activities. And just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual capacity, the Krishna Dvaipayana, he has made so many Vedic literatures. Vedic literatures means first he divided the Vedas into four, then he explained them by the Puranas, then for the incapable persons, just like Sri Shudra Vaishya, he made the Mahabharata, and in the Mahabharata he introduced this Bhagavad Gita, then again he summarized the whole Vedic literature in the Vedanta Sutra, and the Vedanta Sutra, for future guidance, he made a natural commentation by himself, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is called Bhasayam Brahma Sutranam. It is the natural commentation of Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam is called Bhasayam Brahma Sutranam. It is the natural commentation of Vedanta Sutra. So all these literatures, if we transfer our thought, tadabhava bhavita, sada tadabhava bhavita, one who is engaged always, just like the materialist is always engaged in reading some material literature, like newspaper, magazines, and fiction, novel, etc., and so many scientific or philosophy, all these things of different degrees of thought. Similarly, if we transfer that reading capacity for this Vedic literature as presented by, as very kindly presented by Vyasdev, then it is quite possible for us to remember at the time of death the Supreme Lord. That is the only way suggested by the Lord Himself, not suggested as a fact. Nasti atra samsaya. Undoubtedly, there is no doubt about it. Tasmat, the Lord suggested, therefore, tasmat sarvesu kalesu mamanusmara juddhasa. He advises Arjuna that mam anusmara juddhas. He does not say that you simply go on remembering me and give up your present occupational duty. No, that is not suggested. The Lord never suggests something impractical. This material world, to maintain this body, one has to work. The work is divided into 4 divisions of social order: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The intelligent class of the society, they are working in a different way, and the administrator class of society, they are also working in a different way. The mercantile society, the productive society, they are also working in a different way. And the laborer class, they are also working in different way. In the human society, either as laborers or as mercantile men or as politicians, administrators, or as the highest class of intelligent class of men in literary career, scientific researches, everyone is engaged in some work, and one has to work, struggle for existence. The Lord advises that you need not give up your occupation, but at the same time you can remember Mamanusmara. That will make you, that will help you in remembering me at the time of death. If you don't practice remembering me always, along with your struggle for existence, then it is not possible. It is not possible. The same thing is advised by Lord Chaitanya, Kirtanya Sada. Kirtanya Sada. One should practice to chant the name of the Lord. Always. The name of Lord and the Lord is not different. So here the instruction of Lord Krishna to Arjuna, that Mam Anusmara, you just remember me. And Lord Chaitanya's instruction that you chant always the name of Krishna. Here Krishna says that you always remember me, or you remember Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya says you always chant the name of Krishna. So there is no difference. Because Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. In the absolute status, there is no difference between one thing to another. That is the absolute status. The Lord being absolute, there is no difference between His name and Himself. So we have to practice like that. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu. Always, 24 hours. We have to mold our activities of life in such way that we can remember 24 hours. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible. It is possible. A very crude example is set by the Acharyas in this connection. And what is that example? It is said that a woman who is attached to another man, although she has got a husband, still he is attached to another man, and this of attachment becomes very strong. This is called parokyara, either in case of man or woman. If a man has got attachment for another woman besides his wife, or a woman has got attachment for another man besides his husband, that attachment is very strong. That attachment is very strong. So the Acharyas give this example as a bad character woman who has got attachment for other husband. She always thinks, at the same time shows her husband that she is very much busy in the family affair, so that her husband may not doubt her character. So, as she is always remembering the time of meeting with her lover at night, in spite of doing all this household work very nicely, similarly, one has to remember the Supreme Husband, Sri Krishna. Always, in spite of doing his material duties very nicely, that is possible. It requires a strong sense of love. When you have got a strong sense of love for the Supreme Lord, then it is possible that we can go on discharging our duty, at the same time remember the Lord. So, we have to develop that sense. Just like Arjuna was always thinking of Lord. He, out of 24 hours, not for a second, he could forget Krishna. Constant companion of Krishna. At the same time, a warrior. Lord Krishna did not advise Arjuna to give up his fighting, go to the forest, go to the Himalaya and meditate. When yoga system was advised to Arjuna, Arjuna declared that this system is not possible for me. When the Lord says, Yoginamapi sarvesam madgata antaratmana madgatina antaratmana siddhavan bhajati jumam samijuktatamam vatah. So, one who thinks of the Supreme Lord always, he is the greatest yogi. He is the supermost jnani, and he is also the greatest devotee at the same time. The Lord advises, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddha. As a Kshatriya, you cannot give up your fighting business. You have to fight. So, at the same time, if you practice remembering me always, then it will be possible, antakale samameva smaran, then it will be possible to remember me also at the time of death. Mayachito mano buddhi mameva sasi asangsaya. Again, he says that there is no doubt. If one is completely surrendered into the service of the Lord, into the transcendental loving service of the Lord, Mayachito mano buddhi, because we work not with our body actually, we work with our mind and intelligence. So if our intelligence and mind are always engaged in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally our senses are also engaged in the service of the Lord. That is the secret of Bhagavad Gita. One has to learn this art, how one can be absorbed both by the mind and intelligence, 24 hours thinking of the Lord. And that will help one to transfer himself into the kingdom of God or in the spiritual atmosphere after leaving this material body. The modern scientists, they are trying for years and years together for reaching the moon planet, and they have no approach as yet. But here in the Bhagavad Gita, here is a suggestion. Suppose a man lives for another 50 years, and nobody tries to elevate himself in the spiritual ideas for 50 years. That's a very good idea. But even for 10 years or 5 years, one sincerely tries for this practice, Mayachito mano buddhi. It is simply a question of practice. And that practice can be very easily possible by the devotional process, Sravanam. The easiest process is to hear. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padusevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakkhamasam, Vedam. These 9 processes. So, the easiest process is simply hearing. Hearing of this Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam from the realized person. That will train up oneself, into the thoughts of the Supreme Being, 24 hours, which will lead one ultimately, Antakali, to remember the Supreme Lord, and thus, leaving this body, he will have a spiritual body, just fit for association with the Lord. The Lord therefore says, Abhyasa yoga juktina chetusa nannugamina paramang purusang divyang yati patha anuchintayan. Constantly thinking of himself only. It is not a very difficult process. One has to learn this process from the experienced persons in this line. That Vijnanatmisa Gurumeva Vigathet. One should approach a person who is already in the practice. So, Abhyasa Yoga Juktena. This is called Abhyasa Yoga, practice. Abhyasa is how to remember the Supreme Lord always. Chetusa nanmagamina. The mind is always flying to this, to that. So one has to practice, to concentrate the mind into the form of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, always, or in the sound in His name, which is very easier. Instead of concentrating on my mind may be very restless, going hither and thither. But I can concentrate my ear into the sound, vibration of Krishna. And that will also help me. That is also Bhyasaju. Chetasā Nanugamina Paramam Purusam Dibbam. Paramam Purus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual kingdom, in the spiritual sky, one can approach Anuchintayan, constantly thinking. So, these processes, the ways and means, all are stated in the Bhagavad Gita, and there is no bar for anyone. It is not that a particular class of men can approach. Thinking of Lord Krishna is possible. Hearing of Lord Krishna is possible by everyone. And the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mani partha vipasritya jivisu papajuna Sriya Sudra Tatha Vaishya Seviyanti Parangatim Kinkunam Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajasaya Satha Asukam Anittam Asukam Lokam Mimang Prapta Bhajasama. The Lord says that in a human being in the lowest status of life, or even a fallen woman, or a mercantile man, or a liberal class of men. The mercantile class of men, the liberal class of men, and the woman class, they are counted in the same category because their intelligence is not so developed. But the Lord says, they also, or even lower than them, Mahi Partha Vipashitu Jepishu, not only they, or lower than them, or anyone, it does not matter who is he or who is he, anyone who accepts this principle of Bhakti Yoga and accepts the Supreme Lord as the summum bonum of life, the highest target, highest goal of life. That paragati in the spiritual kingdom and the spiritual sky, everyone can approach. Simply one has to practice the system. That system is hinted in the Bhagavad Gita very nicely, and one can adopt it and make his life perfect and make a permanent solution of life. That is the sum and substance of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, the conclusion is that Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. Gita Shastramidam Punyam Japatet Prajata Puman. And the result will be, if he properly follows the instructions, then he can be freed from all miseries of life, all anxieties of life. Bhaya Sokadi Vibhajjitam. all fears of life in this life, as well as he will get a spiritual life in the next life. Gita-dhyanasīlasya pranayama parasya naiva santi papani purvajan kritani cha. Another advantage is that if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. The Lord says very loudly in the Bhagavad Gita, in the last portion, Aham tang sarupapi bha mokshaami masucha. The Lord takes the responsibility. One who surrenders unto the Lord, he takes the responsibility to indemnify from all reactions of sin. Maranirmochanam pumsham jalasnanadi dine dine. Jalasnanam dine dine sakrit gitam musisnanam samsaram malam nasanam. One cleanses oneself daily by taking bath in the water. But one who takes one's bath in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, his the dirty material life is altogether vanquished. Gita sukita kartabhya kimannai shastra vistrai ja swayam padmanabhasya mukhapadmad vinisrita. Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, therefore people may not read all other Vedic literatures. Simply, if he attentively and regularly reads and hears Bhagavad Gita, Gita Sugita Kartabhya, and one should adopt this means, by all means, Gita Sugita Kartabhya Kimannai Shastra Vistrai. Because at the present age, people are embarrassed with so many things that it is hardly possible to divert its attention in all the Vedic literature. This one literature will do, because it is the essence of all Vedic literature, and especially spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bharatam mita sarvasam Vishnu bhaktyad vinisritam Gita gangodakam pitva punarjanma navidyate. As it is said that one who drinks the water of the Ganges, he also gets salvation. Then what to speak of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the nectar in the whole Mahabharata and spoken by Vishnu. Lord Krishna is the original Vishnu. Vishnu Bhaktad Vinisritam. It is coming out of the mouth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gangodakam, Ganges, is said to be emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord, and Bhagavad Gita is emanated from the mouth of the Lord. Of course, there is no difference between the mouth and the feet of the Supreme Lord. Still, from neutral position we can study that Bhagavad Gita is even more important than the Ganges water. Sarvopanishado gava dugdha gopala nandana partha vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gītāmritam maha. Yes, this Gita Upanishad is just like a cow, and the Lord is famous as cow boy, and he was milking this cow, Sarva Upanishad. And it is the essence of all Upanishads and represented as the cow, and the Lord being expert cowboy, he is milking the cow, and Partha Vatsa. And Arjuna is just like the calf, and Sudhir Bhokta, and learned scholars and pure devotees, they are to take this milk. Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gītāmritam. The nectar, the milk of Bhagavad Gita is meant for learned devotees. Evam Shastram Devaki Putra Gītam Eka Deva Devaki Putra Eva Eka Mantra Stasya Navani Yani Karma Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Now, the world should learn from the Bhagavad Gita the lesson. Evam Shastram Devaki Putra Gītam. There is one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world, for the people of the whole world, and that is this Bhagavad Gita. Deva Devaki Putra Eva. And there is one God for the whole world, is Sri Krishna. And Eka Mantra Stasya Navani, and one hymn, mantra, one hymn only, one prayer or one hymn is to chant his name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Eka mantra stasya navani jani karmapi ekam tasya devasya siva. And there is one work only, that is to serve the Supreme Personality of God.